Well, hello there, Assurance Heroes. Welcome to the A-Plan podcast. A is for assurance. This is your weekly internal audit and risk talk show. We're the A-team. He's Emre, the tech guy.
He's Andy, the communication guy.
All right, what have we got for you this week, guys? Last week we were talking about Agile, and the question was, what would an Agile Manifesto for internal auditors look like? So we were taking the 4 values of the Manifesto for Agile Software Development, which is going to be 20 years old in February next year. And we were halfway through. So this week, we're going to jump straight in at number 3, value 3, customer collaboration over contract negotiation. So let's dive in.
I've waited years. How many years?
And you know what? One thing that the auditors often do when we start the mission, we have the kickoff meeting with the auditees, and we ask them several questions like, okay, what's the major risk here for you? Or what's your expectations out of this mission?
Yeah.
And after that, in many cases, the interaction stopped right there.
Yeah.
You don't see them. You only see them at the end, So it's not the collaboration that we are talking clearly. There should be a constant communication channel and feedback loop between the auditors and the audit clients to make sure that we inform them on a regular basis about where we are, where are we going, what are the pain points, and have their points of view about the final product as early as possible. Because when you have the wrap-up meeting, and when you haven't seen them for a long time, you lost them. They have no clue.
Who you are. Yeah, I mean, I would say as well. The way that the kickoff meeting itself is approached is very often extremely weak, because you got to come in. I mean, come in and ask them about what are your strategies, what are the related risks as you see them. If they can articulate that, maybe they can't even articulate that, but it's really just to spend some time getting to know them. Like, what are your goals? What is it that you're trying to achieve with the business? Like, not from an audit perspective, but from your perspective, what's important for you? What will be your dream outcomes? What's standing in the way of that?
You're doing fine, Mimi. There's nothing to be afraid of.
Right.
Just a tiny, inanimate piece of plastic that couldn't possibly hurt you.
I know.
You're doing great.
I feel good.
Winning the trust is the key for me, Andy, because once the auditee appreciate that you're trying to ask the right questions, you are trying to help him with the questions that you're asking, then all of a sudden it's like a magic, really. As soon as the audit client perceives you as someone who can really bring value, the sort of relation all of a sudden change miraculously.
And it's also, you can only do that if you know them. You bring value to someone. There's no generic value. It's related to that person and their interests and what they want. Sometimes I'm being asked that question by the audit guys, and they're saying, how can I earn their trust? Well, who do you trust? You trust in your life. Who do you trust? You trust your friends, you trust your family members. Why? Because you've seen that they're on your side, that they're interested in you, they're trying to empower you, they're trying to solve your problems. So you need to be that guy. And you need to work at it, because you have a shorter period of time. And naturally, they're going to be suspicious when they first meet you. You've turned up to investigate them, for Christ's sake. I'll ask a lot of auditors, so what are your strategies for building trust and collaboration? Oh, I don't know. What do you do in a kickoff meeting? I go and tell them, what methodology I'm going to use, what I'm going to look at. Yeah, but that's all about you. What about them? Like, what about this guy? What about what he wants?
Drop it.
Wait. You don't have to do this. I have kids at home.
Not with that ass, you don't.
Oh, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes! Oh no, he died!
So the last one that we got is responding to changeover following a plan. Now, we know auditors, they love their plans. Oh my gosh. They love their plans, right?
They do. Yeah.
Nowadays, the pandemic, COVID, like, what happened to most audit plans in March? They're filed in the bin, right? B1M, straight in the bin. Like they're irrelevant.
True. Wow. It was something big. Well, clearly, we have to anticipate. There's one thing that you've told me some years ago, Andy. I don't know if you remember that. That's something that I learned from you. You told me. Do you know what have you ever looked to the etymology of the word audit? And it means hearing.
That's right.
So you have to listen. You have to
auditor,
exactly. Yeah. So you have to listen. You have to be open to what's going on around you, not only inside the organization but outside the organization. What might impact you tomorrow? You have to be open and careful about all that. But historically, the auditor, the internal audit function, it was more seen as a control-focused discipline, where we were only looking to the past without really saying something about the future.
Yeah.
But that has changed. Now the stakeholders, the internal audit committees, the CEOs, the chief audit executives, they want excellent communicators and critical thinkers from the auditors to predict the future.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I mean, I think in the past, the main approach of the auditor was hindsight, but definitely nowadays, if you want to be relevant, it's not just hindsight, it's also foresight.
The regulators, they're also asking after this COVID crisis about the operational resilience of the companies.
Yeah.
So if you tell them, oh, sorry, we haven't really looked at this because we have our plan that we prepared last year. So in operational resilience, maybe in the future, you cannot really say this.
This is the end, beautiful friend.
Final thoughts. Ultimately, to simplify, life is difficult for leaders because they're doing things in tension. You've got to balance the desired result with the relationship. And the relationship and the result are constantly pulling against each other. I think in the past, internal auditors, been very, very result orientated. Like, what would be the business impact? What would be the risk rating of this? It's fundamentally about result delivery or hitting results or avoiding a negative result. But ultimately, the relationship has to be there because you can't close those gaps. Okay, so what time is it?
If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire the A-Team.
It's A-Team time. So if you have an assurance problem, if no one else can help you, then we can help you because we're your assurance agony ants. If you have any questions, anything you want us to talk about with this weekly audit and risk talk show, send us a mail. The address is the aplan@zoho.eu, and we'll be happy to give you our thoughts on that. So thank you very much for listening, guys. This has been the A-Plan podcast. And remember, when your A-Plan is good, you don't need no B-Plan.